$1,246.73. So, not much to work with, not much to play with. Hi guys, welcome back to another money video. I didn't think you guys would like these videos so much, but if you're new here, hi, I'm Jill. I'm 23. You guys know the intro if you're not new. Currently living in Parker, Colorado for the summer because I work seasonally in hospitality. I am at a new workplace than the last payday routine, so I wanted to film a payday routine video for you guys because you guys seem to like that one. I feel like that video was somewhat helpful. This one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's gonna be helpful. Let me get my laptop out of the way, actually. I have my laptop here. I also have a massive iced coffee. I need it. I just got out of work, brought my camera up, and we are doing this now. I just worked my 12-hour shift from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Here we are filming, so dedication to the side hustle. Video's going up tomorrow. If you're new here or if you're not new, we're just gonna go over a few things before I start. I'm gonna have the timestamp, so if you want to skip to anywhere, go for it. But I do feel like there are some things you need to understand about my life and my situation and my job. And if you've been here before, you know some of these things already, but for the people who are new, I am just gonna go over it for information's sake. So as I said in the intro, I work seasonally in hospitality. So currently I am in the summer season, and then when I was in Florida, it was the winter season. So funny enough, typically I make more money in the summer season. When you go anywhere up north, usually it's just better money if you don't work in clubs. So odds are if you work in like a country club or a golf club, a lot of the places aren't tipped places. That's another thing. I work in food and beverage. I don't think I said that. There's a whole industry of hospitality, and currently I work in food and beverage. So my money is affected if I am working hourly, if I am making tips, like everything is affected. So currently right now where I work, I make a higher hourly. I do not make tips. There is no gratuity, there's no service charge, nothing like that. Sometimes I get tips here and there, but that's not a consistent thing that would contribute to my income. Like today I made 20 bucks in tip. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really impacting. I will say though, when we were going to Cape Town around the time, like peak summer, I was making some money here and there. So that was going towards my Cape Town trip. But now that the season is winding down, fall's approaching, just making less money basically on the side, like in those tips. So anyway, so as I said, I make a higher hourly. I'm not gonna like give specifics, but I feel like you can kind of like gauge. It's not that high, not that high. So every place is so different. It really just depends on where you go. That's kind of like a rundown on my day-to-day. I also want to say my housing, I'm going to talk about rent. Well, I'm actually not really going to talk about rent. My rent is connected to my work. So because I work seasonally, I get housing through work. They just provide the space with minimal furniture, and then my rent comes out of my paycheck. So you'll never see in these videos until I have my own place rent, because same thing in the last payday routine, I am paying rent, but I do live with roommates and there's 3 of us, so I'm paying a normal rent. It's not as if like I'm getting like discounted rent. However, my utilities are paid for. So that is something that is not involved in my payday routine. So everybody has different circumstances, you know? So whenever I make these videos, I always feel like I have to give some disclaimers because I mean, I could be in the exact same position as someone next to me with like one difference of thing in their life, and our paydays could look completely different. Even though we work the same job, we make the same money, we're both in staff housing, there's 3 people in the apartment, but just if one factor like changes, then this could be completely different for someone else. So I just feel like I have to say that before I start, because I don't know, I feel like my approach to my finances are a little bit different than some other people's, and that's totally okay. I'm showing you, as you've seen in the title, a very low paycheck. A few things did contribute to that. So one, I worked maybe 6 days total in the 2 weeks, and I get paid bi-weekly. I have to like go and look back at my schedule, but it wasn't a full 40 to 50, which I was working for a very long time, hour week. So this is very different from when I was in Florida. I was working overtime. I was making a good amount of gratuity. I was making 20% of gratuity on every check. That money was pooled to the staff. Here, not like that. So when I remember mentioning in that video, every place is gonna be different. Some places are tips, some places you get gratuity, some places you get higher hourly. Really just depends on the place. I'm not getting that, and that has made a very large difference in my income. At first I was like, this is a weird week to film this video because I've been wanting to film this for a while, but pretty much any money I had was going towards the Cape Town trip, so anything extra was going right towards that. So I was like, there's not really much to say. I've said in every video, all my money is going to Cape Town, my debts are on hold, like I'm not paying anything but the minimums because it's all going towards Cape Town. So now that we're back from Cape Town, this is like my first real paycheck. I had one before this that was only 3 days of work, and now this one's 6 days. Normally I would work like a 5-day work week and I'd have overtime, but it's been slow, so I'm working 3 days a week and no overtime. If anything, I'm under 40 hours. So as someone who's trying to like personally grow their finances and hit financial goals and really try to get to a certain place in my life, pay off debt, I wanted to show the whole journey, because the next video I do like this, it'll be a higher paycheck, and the next one I do after that, hopefully it's higher than that, and hopefully then at some point I do this video and debts are paid off. So I wanted to still document this because this is a very low point in my life financially, and it fucking happens. It happens. I know there's gonna be some keyboard warriors in those comments talking away about what I should be doing different. We all have different lifestyles. This is just what works for me right now. And as I always say, I say this in my debt payoffs, I say this in my resets about finances, I've said this in my payday routine. If this doesn't work for you, that's fine, because it's not your life. You might do something completely different. And I also say, I might not even be doing something right. I might be able to do something different. So I'm always aware that I can be improving and changing and maybe I'm doing something wrong. I will say some of you might not be happy with me. Let's get into it. So for this paycheck, I've made a whopping, let me pull it up, $1,246.73. So not much to work with, not much to play with. Thankfully, I have minimal bills. I don't know if I said that either. I have car payment, car insurance, rent, but that gets taken out. I don't have utilities because that's all included in my rent. I think we pay a little more because of that too. So it's kind of like either way we're paying it, but I don't have to like send it out myself every month. And a phone bill. And then I have like all my subscriptions, which we'll go over in here. I'm actually like, I wish I had more money that came in this paycheck. As I said, $1,246.73 I made for 2 weeks of work, but technically I only worked 6 days of the 14-day work period that the paycheck falls under. I'm actually like pretty happy with this because I do feel like, not with how much I made, I would love to be making like 5 times more. Like I will get to that point. Trust, I will get to that point. But I'm happy with my like bills because the last time I filmed this video, I had an Airbnb like Klarna payment, which was coming out for my birthday back in January all the way till August. So this is the first paycheck I haven't had to pay it, which is so exciting. Booked an Airbnb for myself and my family for my birthday, and it was just a lot at the time, so I put it on Klarna. I also think in the last payday routine, I also had an Affirm, which is again another one of those, and that was from last Christmas. So we don't have that anymore. Also, my phone bill skyrocketed this month. I had to pay an extra like $110 because when we were in Cape Town, I had to turn my roaming on. So we're gonna talk about that too. So let's just get into it. Like I said, $1,246.73. So the way I set up my my bills, I try to do like half the first paycheck and half the second. The way the dates fell this paycheck was I got this paycheck like at the end of August, like 2 days ago, and it's September 1st right now. I just got this paycheck. The way it fell, I don't have many bills within the next 2 weeks, but I have a good amount of bills the following paycheck. So what I did with this paycheck was all of my smaller bills, so basically not my car payment, I budgeted into this paycheck. Technically, could I have maybe use all this money to put towards debt? Yes, but I don't want to screw myself for the next paycheck and be like stressed and strapped for money when I need to go grocery shopping or I need to put gas in my car or something like that. Oh, also, if you're new here, I'm in $9,000 of debt right now. Yeah, $9,000 of debt right now, and we're on a debt payoff journey. It's not pretty, but I have spoken about it in other videos, so you can go watch those. I'm not gonna get into it in this video. It's not fun. I hate it. I'm over it. So we're working towards paying it off. So all my paychecks right now are geared towards paying off debt. I'm not shopping, I'm not eating out. That's pretty much it for anything extra I would do. The only thing I do is like buy books, because that is a very important hobby for me. It's good for my brain, my mental health, and I love it. So I do buy books. Not a ton at once, but I do buy them as I read them. That's the one thing I do let myself buy. Every once in a while, a coffee here and there. It's not all the time. So I'm on basically a no spend until this debt gets paid off. So yes, so let's get into it. We're gonna start with the subscriptions because those are a bit smaller. So you'll see at the top, I'll pop right here what my bills look like for like all my fixed bills. They're not like, also I don't do much right now in my day-to-day. Like I don't have much of a life, and honestly thank God, because if I did, I'd be broke as fuck more than I already am. But we don't have family out here, we don't have friends out here, so I'm really just like paying things off and getting ready for our move. So for my fixed bills, I have the date next to everything. And then I have like what it is and how much it costs. So that is always there. So when I budget, I know what I need to put in this check, how I need to budget it. And it also helps because like I said, this week I put a lot of my smaller bills into this budget because I can see like when my pay dates are. So if they don't align nicely, I can like play with it a little bit and like try to prepare myself for the next paycheck and not screw myself over. Also, I still use just like Google Sheets. I don't have a budget. I would like to get into that soon, but currently this is what I've just been doing. I do it manually. I think it's just very important to just start. I'm not the most financially literate person in the sense of like knowing how to use a budget or a spreadsheet, or I don't know how, and it's not something I have sat down to learn. So maybe the next payday routine I'll have one, but for now this is working for the most part. So the two of us split groceries, we split the phone bill, and I think that's it. Anything else that's shared, and then other than that we pay ourselves. I don't need to get into that really, I don't think, but I just feel like I'm just gonna throw it out there. First bill, Epidemic Sound. That is the music I use for the videos. So any music, I don't have to worry about copyright. I don't have to worry about including a link in the description box of these videos. I am set, I am good, it's fine. Useful and important because I don't want issues with my videos. So that for me is important. At some point, I think this will be considered like a business expense when I start learning how to do all that with my YouTube. Again, $18 right now. Next thing is Netflix. I pay for Netflix for our whole family, for my mom, for Tyron, and for I think he has like all the other ones, like Hulu and all the other ones, and I just like being able to do this for my mom and I. So my mom and I love watching the same shows too, so I'm like, I need you to use this thing, so I just pay for it. So there is that. That's $17. Amazon Prime, $8. My Apple, I think this is for extra storage, $10 a month. Canva, again, this is another thing that would be considered like a businessy expense, I think. Again, I don't know, but this is for my YouTube thumbnails. So anytime you see my thumbnail, whatever you just clicked on, any text I pop on the screen, anything I pop, including this spreadsheet here, that is all from Canva. So I use Canva and I pay for the unlimited version. That is currently what I use for my YouTube. So that is another expense. That is $13. So every single one of these bills except for my Epidemic Sound would have come out the following paycheck. And I just like didn't want to risk not being able to cover it because I don't know what my next paycheck is going to be. You know, I don't have a set schedule for work, so I can't gauge how much I'm going to be making. So I wanted to definitely make sure I had myself covered, and then next paycheck, anything I have left over, because I'll be like set now, will go towards debt. An actual bill, car insurance, that is $144. So that is what I pay for like subscriptions, my car insurance, my car. Everybody loves to, like, I know this is gonna sound like a lot to people, because it is. Everybody has something to say about this when I tell them, or when I like talk about it in a video. My car payment is $537. For some people, you're like, what the fuck? Is it a lot? Yes. I have a brand new leased Jeep Compass, and she has come with me all across this damn country and has been with me ride or die, no issues. This is my second Jeep, and I am very happy paying this because I really like don't stress ever. I feel so safe. 4-wheel drive, it has everything I need, and I think I'm gonna buy it out at the end too, so I won't have a car payment after. So I do want to mention that, but that is why I am putting all my bills on this paycheck. Other than that, because it is a lot of money. That would have been half of this paycheck, which is fucking crazy. Let's move into the debt. So up until this point, I have paid off only minimums. Since leaving Florida to getting to Colorado, I've only paid the minimums on my cards because every extra dollar was going towards Cape Town. Our trip was not cheap. Flights were expensive, Airbnb, paying for things there was not cheap. Worth it, 1000%, but it wasn't the cheapest vacation you could ever go on. We have family there also. I feel like I have to say that we have family there. If we didn't, all that money would have gone towards the debt, and my debt would have been probably almost paid off actually. So my throat, oh my God, I've been talking so long. I need to take a sip of my coffee. So this is the first paycheck I've been able to put any extra money towards my debt, which, like, this is not a big paycheck. This paycheck is so fucking small. Really, when I saw it, I was like, I was so upset because I just, like, I want to make money. I'm a Capricorn. So the thought of, like, it really sends me into a stress. The fact that, like, I haven't hit this debt payoff and on to the next goals, it really sends me down. As you know, I feel like if you follow me, you know this. We've spoken about this. But this is the first month I've been able to put anything towards my debt extra than the minimum payment. So my 3 cards if you guys saw the last payday routine, I was down to only 1 card, and then coming out here, life happens, okay? Life happens. I ended up with more. But part of that was also from our trip, Cape Town too, so a good amount of things went on my cards for the trip too. So it's been a really jumbo mess of finances, but we're working through it clearly, hence what I'm about to talk about. So for my American Express, the minimum payment was like $40, so I paid $50. For my Discover card, I paid $86. That was the minimum payment. And then for my last $6,000 credit card, she is still holding on. The minimum payment I think was like $198. I think I paid $200 off that. So then at the end of all the bills, I still have a few more and you need to mention on here, but at the end of all the bills, I was able to put more money towards my American Express. That is my smallest card. However, that is my highest interest. So it is in my best interest to get that paid off ASAP, so I'm not charged interest if I like miss payments or whatever. I don't even want to have to think about it. So that is like my main priority now, and then we'll move on to the other cards. Again, progress is being made, and that is the most important thing. So I paid the minimum, and then I saw I had extra left over, so I put all the extra in towards that. $328 extra after that $50. So what is that? $378 I was able to put towards my debt from a $1,200 paycheck, which is pretty good. It's not like the best ever. It's not the most fun, but like I said, I wanted to make sure my other bills were covered. That was my main priority. If not, I could have put way more money towards this. Yeah, so that is exciting. Our phone bill skyrocketed because I had to turn my roaming on when we were out of country. Our bill was over $400 for my phone. Are we joking? That is so much money. And I didn't even use it often, the roaming. I never used the roaming unless like I really felt I needed to and needed an Uber, or like I needed to in the moment. I only used it, I think maybe like 3-4 tops times out of 2 weeks. Each we put $220 each. Usually it's half of that. So usually I pay about $110 a month. And that's because we had like put our phones on there. So our phones are pretty much paid off now, I think. So that'll go down too. But again, it's just crazy. And then I did budget in gas. I put $40 for that. I had a miscellaneous thing for $100 that I had to budget in. So that's how I budgeted my $1,200 paycheck. I hope this is the last small paycheck I pretty much ever receive, unless I'm like just entering a job, was away on vacation or something, but this is ridiculous. Let me make it clear, by no means am I happy about this. Am I proud about this paycheck? Exciting things. I'm gonna talk about it in the next week's videos, I think. I am gonna be starting a side hustle, and I'm so excited about it, and I don't want to jinx anything. I'm like a little nervous about it, and it's something very out of my comfort zone, and it's something I'm going to be trying on my own, and it's not at another workplace or something, what I've been doing. It's completely not hospitality or food and beverage, so I am nervous, but I don't want to talk about it too much. But my hope is the next time I do one of these things, I am able to include money from that in the payday routine. So as I said, I just wanted to document this journey. I know there's some people out there who are making similar or less than, and it's hard. Life is expensive, and if I had rent, if I had a mortgage, if I had children, I don't know how I would survive on this. I would not be putting all this money towards debt. That would have been an extra $600-700 in my pocket, but still, that would have gone towards rent, it would have gone towards something else. So it's a little ridiculous, but at the same time, I already knew what I signed up for coming here. I would keep getting paid. I knew that if I had slower weeks or months, that this is what it would look like. And this time here has been used as a transition period. Moving forward, we will be working where we get paid more, where we get more experience with things, and I'm really excited about it. So that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed this payday routine. I was just about to say comment below how much you got paid this bi-weekly, but I feel like that's probably a little too personal, so maybe don't if you want to. I was like, I like chatting with you guys in the comments, so I'm trying to think of something that, like, you know what, I have a cool thing. What was the most exciting thing you put your money towards? It could be so mundane, it could be like a coffee or something, but for me, this paycheck, it was my debt. I'm most excited that I was able to not only pay the minimums. I was so excited to like be able to pay a little more than that. So that was what I was most excited about. Let me know in the comments what you were. Yeah, so if you made it to the end, thanks for being here. I hope you all enjoyed. As I said, she ain't the prettiest, and also my budget is not the most professional. Never claimed to be. We're working on things, you know? So hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.